Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Travel Royally podcast. This is edition number 63, and we're thrilled today to have Ian Buckkins, who's a PGA professional and club manager at Peterhead Golf Club in Northeast Scotland. He has a wonderful background in both industry and golf, and he played his college golf here in the U.S. at Stetson University in Florida. He's been a head professional, a teaching professional, and a club manager in Scotland. At Peterhead, you've got to visit there. It's a fantastic golf club, and they're lucky to have Ian as their club manager. Ian, thank you for joining the Travel Royally podcast.
No, thank you for having me, Jeff. Yeah.
You know, it's funny, we met at Scottish Golf Tourism Week a couple of months back, and we had some very fun, lively conversations. You and I and your partner, and so we're really thrilled to have you on the podcast. Now, where are you from originally? Are you from up in the Peterhead area?
Yeah, I'm from Cruden Bay, so yeah, just 10 minutes along the road. Yeah, very local. I went to Peterhead Academy. Family's all from Peterhead. Fishing, boat builders, that kind of industry. So yeah, I've always been Peterhead, except when I went to America for the 4 years. So yeah.
Did you know Rue McDonald?
Yeah, I know Rue. Yeah, he's obviously a Cruden Bay member as well. See him quite a bit.
Yeah, we had him on the podcast. He's a very likable guy. Now, how did you come to golf?
Oh, well, growing up in Cruden Bay, there wasn't much else to do. Started when I was 6 years old. Father got us involved. My two brothers, all our friends were golfers. So there's always been a big junior section in Cruden Bay. So there was, along with that, through the winter, through the summer, got pretty good. Short game got pretty good. Ended up getting into the Scottish boys team at 16. And from there, kind of got noticed and got the chance to go to the States. I went to Stetson for 4 years. So, yeah, I've always been into golf. Other sports in the area, I mean, football and stuff, but golf was always my favourite. It's the one I stuck to.
Now, what made you want to leave Stetson? I can't think of a prettier area in the States than Stetson. Certainly better than Peterhead.
I know. I did have the opportunity to stay. My coach Michael was the head coach at Stetson. His son was the head pro at the Disney Resort. So he did offer me a job to start my PGA training. I was just a way to do it until I spoke to Robbie Stewart, the head pro at Cruden Bay, and he said, "Ian, if you do the PGA in America, it won't count when you come back to Scotland or the UK. It was a different qualification."
Yeah.
So I said, "Well, I'll go home, I'll do it, and then I'll go back to America." But I never went back to America, so it was a shame.
Well, you're welcome back anytime.
Yeah.
Well, after college, tell us about your professional journey. Sounds like you went back and you took a job at Cruden Bay.
So I graduated in '99. I started my PGA training with my friend Ian Buckkins at local course in Aberdeen. I got through training in a couple of years. I was kind of fast tracked to that because of my degree. So that was quite good. I didn't have to spend 3-4 years in the shop. And I managed to get a good placement at another local course in Aberdeen called Krebston. Did there 7, 8, 10 years. And ever since then, I've been just floating about a few local places. Mostly teaching. I did start up as a golf tour operator, so I was doing that as well on the side. But then the opportunity at Peterhead came up right on my doorstep, and I thought, this is, I've got to go for this. And thankfully, I was awarded the job. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, you're fortunate. There are a lot of wonderful courses in that part of the country. I mean, there are more golf courses per capita than any other country on earth. So, but you're fortunate up where you are because you've got a lot of wonderful courses up there.
Yeah, northeast, obviously, just north of Aberdeen, you've got Newborough, then Cruden Bay, ourselves, Fraserburgh, yeah, and obviously Moray up a little bit further north. So yeah, we do Peterhead is definitely worth playing. It doesn't get the same visitors as the likes of Coon Bay. We do get a few Americans. I mean, my main role is to try and get more visitors.
Right.
That's why I went to Scottish Golf Tourism Week, met yourself, speaking to tour operators. Peterhead's never pushed itself in the past. Always kind of relied on just the members and a few locals. We get quite a few Scandinavians, but not big on the Americans. But I know every time we do get them, they really do enjoy the course.
Yeah. Well, it's fantastic. I loved it. I think, as you said, unfortunately, a lot of Americans haven't heard of Peterhead here in the States.
Yeah.
But for those listening, it's ranked 65 in Scotland, and it's really an example of pure links, of ancient links. And with it being such a strong links course, how is it still such a well-kept secret?
Yeah, just in the past, they just haven't had anyone in my position pushing it. They've always just been happy enough, just relying on the membership fees and some local visitors. But you're right. I mean, the course itself, it's maybe a little bit of a slow starter, but once you get on to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are just, I mean, they're world class. I mean, the hole behind you on the picture, the signature hole, the 7th. I mean, then you start going into the valley with the dunes. I mean, it's just really spectacular. Some great holes.
Yeah, I agree with your notion that it has a slow start, but once, as you said, you get to 6 and 7, your mind is blown. I mean, I remember playing, like, I'm looking around like, why aren't there thousands of people here? It was fabulous.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not just saying that. I truly mean it. It was surreal how good it was, and there are holes on there that you could put on any of the best courses in Scotland, and they wouldn't be out of place.
No, you're right. It's got a great run of holes in the dunes. Yeah, even the finish is pretty good. It's such I mean, it's obviously it's quite an old course, 1841, but it hasn't changed much over the last 50 years. It's such a windy place, and it's so dry. I mean, you're hitting driver 350, and then you're struggling to stop your wedge on the green. Everything's got to be played on the ground. I mean, it's not long, but it is really tricky. Trying to stop any ball near the green or on the green, it's near impossible. You have to land it short.
There's some good advice. Well, I hit the ball 350 in any condition, so
yeah.
Yeah, that's a joke, obviously. No, but I really love the course, and you know, that part of the country is so rich with golf courses. You could build a trip around Aberdeen and play for 12 days and not play any of the courses twice, really. I mean, if you went down a little bit, down to, if you put in Carnoustie and Panmure and Montefieth and Mercer and Royal Aberdeen and Cruden Bay and Fraserburgh and Peterhead, I mean, those are just off the top of my head. I'm sure I missed a couple, but those are all wonderful courses that you've played, and you'd be happy to play any of them again, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure, yeah. They have a lot of fun. Everyone's quite different as well, yeah.
Well, you've got a lot to be proud of there. Tell us about the club itself and the history.
Yeah, so 1841 was established, so it makes it the 18th oldest course in the world, club in the world. It has had, what makes it quite unique is originally it was started back then, and it was in the centre of Peterhead on the Cairn-Trodley links, but they had to move. It wasn't the biggest area. I think they played on a 4-hole course, and then they moved it to Craigewen links, where we are right now. And then 1892 it was Willie Park Jr., so a double winner of the Open. He laid out the course. He opened it back then, and then I think it was in 1929 James Braid came up from Walton Heath, and he made some improvements to it. So since then, it hasn't had much changes to it. There was some erosion around about 16, 17, 18. You can see in the background on the left there, and along the beach. So they had to change the finish of the course a little bit. So that was a shame, because it's got some really nice area to the left, heading back into the town where the dunes are. But sorry, yeah. So it's hasn't changed much at all. We don't have a modern, up-to-date irrigation system, so we really rely on Mother Nature. Greenkeepers do a great job. Our head greenkeeper is Neil Metcalf. He was the head greenkeeper at Royal St George's for 2 of the Opens, so we can't get anyone more experienced than him. Neil's a local lad. He's Coon Bay as well, so there's a bit of a Coon Bay connection there. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth playing if you haven't played it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Well, someone with his pedigree, coming from Royal St George's, that's a fantastic links. It's number 1 on my list of best courses.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
I've never played it.
You haven't played it?
No.
Well, here's the deal. I just, if you see, I'll have to make sure you're on our mailing list for our newsletter. I talked about the lunch there, like where the best lunches, post-round lunches, right?
Okay.
And so people talk about Prestwick or Muirfield.
Yeah.
These fancy lunches. When you go to Royal St. George's, they take it to a whole new level. I mean, you got to wear a jacket and tie. It's different.
Okay.
Right? I like playing at a club like yours or mine at Murray, where I can come in my golf togs and don't have to take my golf shoes off. Just take your cap off.
But relax.
There, you got to put on a jacket and tie. But the food, I mean, for us, it's like Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, there's more food than you can eat.
Okay.
There's a smoking room for cigars. They've got a big roaring fireplace with leather chairs there. And they've got the single best shower facility in the world. It's life-changing. After you've been out in the cold, to stand under a hot shower.
Power shower.
Well, no. It's not a power shower. It's 10 feet tall. You're like in a phone booth, 10 feet tall, with like dark gray slate walls and a glass door, and a waterfall like a rainhead sprinkler above your head, like 9 feet high. Oh my God. It was, I didn't want to leave. I wanted to find a place to sleep in the locker room so I could take more showers there. But the food was great. The course is amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, your course, I think, is amazing as well. Now, how many members do you have, and how many visitor rounds do you get a year?
Yeah, well, we've got about 470 members, I would say, right now. I mean, they've had over 460 members since 1920, so they've been doing okay. Visitors, yeah, it's nothing to boast. We didn't do much at all the last few years. I would say we're lucky if we get, I would say 1,000. Yeah, so there's big room for improvement there for sure.
That's still a lot. 1,000 visitors.
Yeah,
it's a fair amount of money to the coffers.
I would say about 10 of them American.
10% or 10 of the 1,000?
Yeah, only 10. I think I only had about 10 last year. Well, I started in June last year, so I don't have much to compare previous years.
Yeah. I suppose what you need to do is come to the show over here in January, the PGA show. And
yeah, I've been to that one. It was great. I went there before COVID. It was superb. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about how much revenue clubs like Dornach, right? I mean, their members could almost join for free because of all the visitor rounds that they get, right? I mean,
Oh yeah. I mean,
some of the courses charge, Ian, 2 rounds by, a round by 2 visitors.
Mm-hmm.
That's their annual subscription for a player.
The yearly fee. Yeah. Yeah,
mean,
I know.
it's crazy.
Mhm.
So in your mind, what makes Peterhead so special?
Well, it's quite unique in the fact that there is no parking at the golf course. You have to actually walk over a bridge. Um, the bridge, I think it was before 1925. You had to catch a ferry boat to get to the golf course. Yeah, so it was pretty unique.
Yeah.
But now there is a bridge, but you have to walk over the bridge and up a hill. It's a little 5 minute walk, which is quite unique. Yeah, but I just think what's unique is you won't play a more traditional links course, as in firmness. I mean, it's so firm, and the wind is constant. And it's proper links golf. Yeah, like I said, everything's got to be played on the ground. You can forget trying to hit nice high soft shots from the edge of green. It's just not happening.
Yeah. Well, links golf in general is almost a different game from what we play in the States.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I mean, excuse me. I mean, here everybody hits the ball high, right?
Mm-hmm.
The greens are typically soft. The fairways are soft, certainly softer than what we see in Scotland. So it is like two different games, but yours is particularly different because it's hard and fast all year round.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Some of the newer courses, like down the road at Trump,
Mm-hmm.
they've got sprinklers going all day long, don't they, to keep it lush and green. And more traditional links like yours or Cullen or Murray don't have the resources to put in.
No, the fairways burn up, the greens burn up. Yeah, I mean it looks it looks quite brown. Yeah, not as green as that photograph you got there, but I mean, it's still really good tight fairways. Greens are excellent. The rough, the rough can get up, but it's not long. But the wind really protects our links courses. That's what makes it tough. Yeah.
Well, I think, if you want, as you said earlier, if you want a traditional Scottish links experience, Peterhead is the place to be, right? I mean, it's
For
hard
sure.
and fast. And when it gets burned out like that, when it turns brown, I think Americans say, well, this isn't. Some set might say that it's not particularly lovely, right?
No.
But if you watch Open Championships, they play them in those conditions. I remember when Tiger won at Liverpool,
That's right.
20 years ago, nearly. It was, I'm certain as brown as your course will be in July, right?
Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah, we have to rely on Mother Nature, but last summer, I think it was the warmest in 40 years. So It was a real struggle. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Ian, one of the things that impressed me about Peterhead was how friendly the members were.
Mm-hmm.
And when I played there, I played as a single. I came into the clubhouse and I had a couple of pints with a couple of members, just extremely friendly lads. It was, and I think that's what we want our guests to do is, a lot of times our people go over and they'll play Peterhead. And you'll say, well, make sure you stop and have a drink. Oh, we won't have time for that. We're playing 36 today, so we're going to Fraserburgh.
Yeah.
So then I ask them, well, how did you enjoy Fraserburgh? Did you meet any members? No, we had to run because we had to get back for dinner or something.
Yeah.
For me, the thing that I like about playing when I played at Peterhead, it's you made me a member for a day. I had full access to the facilities, the golf course, the clubhouse. The members were friendly, and you don't get that feel at some of the bigger courses, right? Because
yeah, I know what you're saying.
That way.
The members are very proud of the club. If anyone new comes in, they want to find out who they are. They're not afraid to go up and buy them a drink, and then they're stuck with you for the next hour. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Even our caddies and that. Yeah, I mean, you might struggle to understand what they're saying, but you'll have a great experience. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, your caddies are all members there, aren't they?
Yeah, just members.
Yeah, it's the same at my club. They're all members, not professional caddies.
Yeah.
But a lot of those caddies that you have walked that course 1,000 times.
Yeah, they'll know the borrows and the greens, and where not to hit it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's great. So, other than Peterhead and Cruden Bay, what are your favorite courses in Scotland?
In Scotland, it has to be Carnoustie. Played it so many times, and I don't think I've ever broken 80. So tough. Castle Stewart, that's really, really nice. Nairn has to be the best greens I've ever played on. Yeah. I do like Moray. I like those kind of courses. I mean, Moray's so tough off the tee. I find that's probably one of the toughest driving courses I've ever played. Makes it good. But yeah, there's.
Do you like? Have you played Fortrose and Rosemarkie?
Yeah. I've got quite a lot of events with my son. He's quite a good golfer. He's a +3, and he's playing all these junior events. So I take my clubs. I went and played. We played Golspie for the first time just a few weeks ago. Played Goswick just last week. That was really good. Obviously, it's not in Scotland, but it's a beautiful course.
Right on the border. I've played that. That's a lovely course.
Yeah, just by Berwick. Yeah, I mean, there's so many courses that I haven't even played.
Your son can beat you now?
Yeah, he started beating me a couple of years ago. That's good touchy one. Yeah, he's 16. He's coming up for 17. He's going to the States. He's got a full scholarship to the University of Memphis, so he goes there next August, 2024. So that'll be exciting.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
University of Memphis.
So he's a member at Peterhead and Cruden Bay. He struggles around Peterhead at +3. He just can't stop the ball. He's still trying to land the ball next to the hole, and it's bouncing over the green. You know, he just can't get around it.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, that's fantastic that he'll be coming to the States.
Yeah, so I'll be over.
You couldn't get him into Stetson?
Stetson didn't even get back. They didn't even acknowledge it. Yeah, weren't interested. And he's a lot better player than I ever was. So it's a shame. Yeah, but somewhere different would be nice.
Yeah. Well, I hope he comes back.
He said he's not coming back. He hates the weather here. He hasn't been to America yet, so I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. If he's there for a summer, he'll pray for Scottish weather because it's hot and humid.
Yeah, it'll be too hot for him.
For sure. So, if you could choose any course in the world to play, what would it be?
Any course. I played one of the best courses I ever played was Lytham St Anne. I thought that was excellent. Yeah, but if I could play any course, I would probably, I do love my home course, Cruden Bay. I keep going back to it. Every hole's different. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
I don't. It's almost a trick question, right? Because for me, any round with my friends is a great round. Doesn't matter where we are. I mean, we prefer to play in Scotland, right, or Ireland, but any round with my buddies is.
That makes a difference. Yeah.
When you were in the States and playing in college, what's the best course you played in college?
Well, some of the courses we played at our conferences were just out of this world, but so tough. So I didn't really enjoy them. So I've forgotten their names.
Did you get to play TPC Sawgrass?
No, I was in that area, but no, we didn't get on there. No. Yeah. It was such a long time ago. I've forgotten a lot of the courses. Yeah.
Well, you know what, Ian, there are 1,600 golf courses in Florida.
Oh, yeah, that's so
right.
many.
That's not
just in Florida.
3 times as many in the whole country of Scotland. Think
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
I mean, the choices are endless, and there are many excellent choices down there. And since you've left, there are many more that weren't there when you were there,
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah.
right? I mean, the whole Stream Song. Have you heard of Stream Song?
No, no.
They went to. It's an inland links, right, on
Okay.
very sandy soil, no trees. I mean, it doesn't have the ocean views, but it's. They've got several courses there that are excellent. And on the opposite coast, on the Gulf of Mexico, they built a lot of courses up on the Panhandle around Panama City and in that area. So,
Yeah, I've heard a lot of comparisons to our courses to Bandon Dunes, that area. I don't know if you've been there, but they're supposed to
yeah,
be pretty Scottish type like courses.
they even have gorse there.
Oh, they imported it in?
No, 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 no. They didn't, but someone brought some gorse over from Scotland like 100 years ago and planted it. I
Okay.
swear it's true. And
It'll grow anyway.
yeah. I don't remember. Do you guys have a lot of gorse on your course?
No, we don't have much course. Mostly a lot of long grass. Yeah.
It's obviously at Murray, they've got a lot of.
Yeah, there's too much gorse at Murray.
Well, there's a lot down at St. Andrews as well. We've got clients down there now. I think I mentioned that, and they're playing, and they've got they sent the greatest picture, a selfie. It's a husband and wife, holding the camera up, and behind them it's just a sea of blooming yellow gorse. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful when it's like this right now. Yeah,
yeah. Okay. I got another question for you. If you were going to have a dream foursome, right? People living or dead, what 3 people would you invite to play with you, and where would you play?
Oh, I think Sandy Lyle has to be in there. And my dad, and obviously my son. Yeah. And I would just love to see how Sandy Lyle could play around my home course and see if he could hit that one out. Yeah, that would be quite. If Sandy Lyle in his heyday, that would be something else.
Yeah.
I know Sandy Lyle came up. He did come up to play at Peterhead. They used to have some pro-ams back in the day, and I think that was maybe it could have been his first ever professional tournament. I think someone said that. So at Peterhead. So he went on to have a pretty good career. Yeah.
Yeah, he was amazing. It's sad to see any pro retire from the Masters or the Open Championship, and I know he'll still go back every year for the dinner and he's an honorary member, but it was sad to see him and Larry Mize take a step back from. They're just getting old to compete with the young guys. Yeah,
it was a shame. He had one putt to finish, and they blew the hooter. He had to come back the next morning. Remember?
Yeah.
They thought they'd let him putt and go home.
Yeah. But he's been a wonderful ambassador for Scottish golf.
Oh yeah, for the game.
Paul Lowry. I'm surprised you didn't say Paul Lowry, because he's from up in your area, and he's an
I should have said Paul. Yeah, he does a lot for the kids. He's obviously helped my son over the last few years. So Paul Lowry does a lot of great stuff for Aberdeen and the kids up here for sure.
Yeah,
I was there when he won the Open. Watched him hit that shot into the 18th. And it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's often overlooked how well he played. What everyone focuses on is the collapse of John Vandervelde.
Yeah, that's right.
That's I can tell you what, Ian. I remember the first time I played there with my dad. This is like 26 years ago now, and I mean that's a tough. 18's a tough hole. Well, that stretch 16, 17, 18. Yeah. I mean, I know you're a professional, but you've played it with amateurs. hitting 3-wooder driver on 16 to a green that's like a turtle's back. I mean, trying to get any kind of ball to stop on there is tough, and then that Barry Byrne is like a snake through 18. You know. But listen to what I did. I hit a 3-wood, 9-iron, 9-iron, and that second 9-iron landed and stopped a 1.5 feet from the hole. I had a tap in par. I was playing like a par 5.
Was that 16 or 18?
18. Oh yeah, funny.
Okay. So yeah, that's a good par then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough hole to par.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, out of bounds, just slightly left the green or over the back.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to hide.
Well, even after Vandeveld collapsed there, Padraig Harrington hit it in the water on 18 so that forced a playoff. Now he still won, but
yeah, he got up and down from short to burn. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Well, Carnoustie is an amazing course, but I respect the fact that you'd like to play at your childhood course and get back out at Cruden Bay. Is your dad still alive?
Yeah. He's still swinging away.
Oh, excellent. I've got a couple more questions for you, and then we'll wrap up. But
okay,
if you've got people coming to Peterhead, if I had some Americans that were watching this, what would you like to tell them about what they would experience at Peterhead? Not just the course, but the members and the area and the whole experience.
Yeah, I think they would obviously get very, very warm welcome. Quite unique coming over the bridge. They'll be wondering where we going here, Probably get blown over coming over the bridge up the hill. The first tee shot is very daunting. You've got the river on the left, and it's pretty tough going. But I think once they really see the down at the dunes, the 6th, 7th, they'll forget about anything to do with work or any stress. They'll just be really loving their golf. Just where they are. The opportunity to play such a really fun and tricky course at the same time. Not long, but they'll enjoy it. They're not going to lose many balls, and they're going to take 6 hours to go round. They'll probably get down in 4 hours, and then come into clubhouse, and they'll be questioned by every member where they're from, what they're doing, what they want to drink. Yeah, it'll be memorable for sure for that.
I should probably come with them to translate, right? Yeah. So that I can explain what you're saying to them.
Yeah, there's a bit of that. The Northeast twang. Yep.
Yeah. I got one more question for you, Ian, and that is, you gave some advice about playing Peterhead, and that was, hey, your ball's going to travel a lot further, particularly with drives. Don't try and hit the ball to the hole. You got to land short and run it up.
Yeah.
But beyond that, in general, what advice do you have for people that are going to play links golf?
Well, come prepared for all sorts of weather. Yeah, I mean, you could start out in the sun and end up with hailstones by the 3rd. Yeah. I think, what can they expect? I mean, or how can they prepare for it? They have to be able to do the chip and run shot. If they haven't practiced it, they're probably not used to it at all. The bump and run. Maybe get a lesson before they go out. Get a little chipping lesson for myself. And that would help them out. And make sure you don't putt past the hole. You got to keep it below the hole, or it's just, it's 3-4 putt all day. For sure.
Yeah, that's good advice. I think I played a lot with a member at Murray. His name's Jim Young. He's probably in his mid-70s now, but when I met him, he was probably 60, right? Because I've been a member there for about 15 years. And he, in the 70s, won 2 club championships at Crail when he lived down in Fife.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
so he's a very good golfer, obviously, right? Even at 75. And we played with him at Fort Rose and Rose Marquis this past summer, and
Fun.
his 7-iron is like a magic wand, right? I mean, he hits that from 60 yards off, 5 yards off, green side. I mean, he bump and runs it, to gimme range practically every time. And I've been playing with him for a long time, and I've emulated that. And I had an eagle back in late January. Let me think about that. No, it was February. And I say that with some measure of pride because, I don't know if I had any. Well, I know I had no eagles the previous year, so I've gotten 2 this year so far. One of them was a bump and run on a par 5 in from 3 yards off the green. And we don't have the kind of grass typically where you can do that, right?
No, it just stops, isn't it?
Yeah. But you're right. Getting that bump and run is really important. So anyway, well, Ian, I hope that all of our listeners and people viewing this on YouTube heed your advice and come to Peterhead to play golf because they will not be disappointed. It's fantastic links, friendly members, and plenty of other courses up there to round their trip out with. So thank you very much for investing your time with us today. We really do appreciate it.
No problem, Jeff. Thank you. Great to see you again. And hopefully see you soon.
I hope so. We'll talk soon.
Hope so. Okay, thank you.